Hi guys, so I'm back here with the next math lesson, which we were continuing to work on measurement and measuring things. Our last lesson we talked and discussed measuring the length of things, which is left to right. We're measuring how long or how short an object is. Next I want to talk about our next one, which is height, which is similar to length, but we are measuring up and down. So when we measure height, you're measuring how short or tall an object is. So some of the vocabulary that you're going to see is height, short, tall, the same or equal size. So those are the vocabulary words, and this is our little anchor chart, and I'll put this on canvas for height. I will model this for you again on my table so you can see how we measure height for different objects and compare if an object is taller or shorter. Again, I will be using my Unifix cubes because they're easier to see. But when we do our small group, we might be using pennies or Q-tips or crayons to measure. So here we go. We have a couple of rules that we need to use when we are measuring. So some of those rules of measuring with non-standard units is that we have to make sure that we're using the same size object or material. So for mine, I'm using Unifix cubes and they're all the same size. So we are using the same materials. The next rule is to start at the edge, tip to tip. So we don't want to start in the middle. We want to start on the side. And the last one is there's no overlapping or there's no gap. So they need to be side by side when we're measuring and not have gaps like this or have them overlapping each other. So here we go. Let's measure some height. Now, height is up and down, right? It's not long. So if I have my stamp pad here, if you remember from our last video, if we're measuring length, we're measuring across, left to right. But we are not going to be measuring the length today. We're measuring the height. So if you see, I'm going to turn this over just to the side. That's the height right there. And if I put it right next to it, if you see, and I'm not sure if you can see that very well. There we go. I'll try to tip it to the side. It's actually less than 1 Unifix cube. That's how tall or how short. So this is not very tall. Alone, it's less than 1 Unifix cube. So even the Unifix cube is slightly taller. So that's the stamp pad. Now another thing I have here to measure is this little perfume bottle that I have. Now if I set it right there and I'm going to measure how tall it is, I'm going to put the Unifix cubes right next to it. Now it looks like I can add one more. So I'm going to add one more. And sometimes measuring height is a little bit easier since they're both kind of standing on the side. And actually, it's right about 4 Unifix cubes. It's a little bit shorter than that, but if we had to kind of round it up or guess, it's about 4 Unifix cubes long. So that's this perfume bottle. And next I have this bell here. And this is one of the bells from the classroom. It's from Rome. I'm sure you guys recognize it. So I'm going to put that right next to the perfume bottle. And already you can kind of see that it looks like the bell is taller than the perfume bottle. So let's find out. I'm going to take these red Unifix cubes and we're going to place them right next to the bell because again, we're not doing length, which would be left to right. We're doing height, which is up and down. So if I look at this here really closely, it looks like this one is about, whoops. Let me take one of the cubes off because it was too big. Remember, we go tip to tip. So if we count them, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's actually only 1 Unifix cube taller. The bell is 1 Unifix cube taller than the perfume bottle. So that's how we measure height, boys and girls. We go up and down, not side to side. And we will continue working on measuring and using mathematical words and saying it's taller than, it's shorter than, they're equal in size. So that is height, guys. See you in our next video.